Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the barbell philosophy. It's a philosophy to design a life-first portfolio, and I'll talk about why it is my personal favorite. Most people believe that risk and peace are opposites. They think you must choose a side. You either play it safe with low returns or you gamble with high growth assets. And you lose sleep over every red shot. But I have learned a different truth. The secret to wealth is not in the middle. It is found in the extremes. To thrive in an uncertain world, many investors use the barbell strategy. On one side, you have the high growth potential of global innovation. On the other side, you have the calm of fixed income and defensive assets. Today, I am sharing how this framework works. We are not talking about buy or sell calls. This is about designing a portfolio that fits your life. It is about capturing the future without being destroyed by the present. So first, let's dive into the gravity of the global markets. Look at the growth side of the barbell. Many investors tilt heavily towards the United States. Here is the data behind the choice. The US capital market is roughly $69 trillion, whereas the entire world combined together is $135 trillion. The US commands more than half of global equity value. But this scale is only part of the story. Look at the performance history. Over the past 30 years, the S&P 500 averaged 10.8% annual returns. The rest of the world averaged closer to 6.5% annually. Investing is about probabilities. Focusing on the US is a tactical choice. It aligns with the deepest, most liquid innovation hub. This is not a guarantee of future results. It is simply an engine for long-term growth. So let's recap the three pillars of financial Zen. Anxiety usually comes from three traps. 1. The fear of missing out. 2. The need to constantly check your portfolio. 3. The feeling that your goals keep moving. To counter this, I use the three pillars. First, define enough. Most people never define what enough means. They just keep chasing more. Enough should be a clear, calculated number. Once you hit that, everything else is surplus. Surplus can take risk. Surplus does not need daily attention. Second, the time horizon filter. Most anxiety comes from mixing time horizons. We apply 10-year goals to a 10-minute news cycles. Money needed in 5 years belongs in cash or bonds. Money for 10 plus years can handle volatility. Respect the time horizon. Then the daily noise becomes irrelevant. Third, automate the non-negotiables. Anxiety thrives on constant decisions. Every manual choice creates friction. Automate your contributions. Then stop looking. A calm portfolio is one you don't constantly touch. Now let's look at the equity engine. Many investors use three layers. First, the foundation. This is a broad US index fund. It captures the entire ecosystem. It removes your ego from the trade. Second, the innovation tilt. This covers sectors like technology. These are engines of the modern world. They are volatile, but they rewrite the rules of the economy. Third, the value balance. This covers energy, finance, and industry. These move differently than tech. Holding both keeps you balanced. You aren't chasing the current trend, you are staying intentional. So this brings us to the psychology of the bunker. How do you sleep with high equity exposure? You build a bunker. I use gold and bonds for this. Gold is liquid and uncorrelated. It acts as a counterbalance. But the most important part is the buy and hold approach. I do not sell winners to rebalance. That creates taxes and stress. Instead, I build a cash cushion. This cushion covers 5 to 10 years of my living expenses. This changes everything. If the market crashes, I'm fine. I do not have to sell my equities at a loss. I have my bunker. I can ride out any storm. I stop feeding my winners and I start feeding my bunker. This brings us to the life stage evolution. A portfolio is not a static list of assets. It evolves with your life. Consider geographic arbitrage. If you plan to move to a lower cost region, your math changes. Your expenses decline, your portfolio pressure drops. You gain massive freedom. As wealth grows, flexibility matters more than ownership. As cash flows stabilize, the portfolio shifts. It naturally moves towards preservation. You don't have to force this. It happens when you respect your timeline. So this brings us to the AI question. We are at the start of an AI revolution. It will change the world for decades. But who captures the value? If you bet on one stock, you are a fan. If you bet on the race, you are an investor. By using the barbell, you bet on the race. You hold the broad market because you know innovation will happen. If a bubble bursts, your bunker keeps you safe. This is how you stay in the game. Wealth is not about being right once. It is about not being wrong so badly you have to quit. So let's get deeper into the philosophy. To truly understand this, we must look deeper. Why do we avoid the middle? Because the middle is where you lose. The middle risk assets are often the most dangerous. They promise safety but underperform during inflation. They offer excitement but crash when things get tight. By picking the extremes, you eliminate the guesswork. You either have assets that are meant to be stable or you have assets that are meant to grow. There is no ambiguity. When the market drops, you know exactly why you hold the bunker. When the market rallies, you know why you hold the growth. This is the power of a disciplined framework. It makes your portfolio an agreement with yourself. Let's talk about the cash reserves now. Many investors overlook the cash reserve. They see it as dead money. Inflation eats it, they say. But cash is not an investment, cash is an option. It is the ability to walk away from a job. It is the ability to buy a house in a downturn. It is the ultimate hedge against market timing. If you have 10 years of cash, you never fear the market. You are never a forced seller. This is the key to psychological survival. This gets us to the Zen of minimalism. Your portfolio should be a reflection of your life. Do you really need 50 different positions? Do you need to check the 10 different sector reports? No. The best portfolios are built by subtraction. Remove the noise, remove the redundant funds. Keep only what moves the needle. Simplicity is not laziness. Simplicity is focus. So in conclusion, we get into the long game. True wealth is benefiting from innovation while maintaining the ability to survive volatility. It is being a visionary and a realist. Build a life where you are excited for the market, but you are also fine if the market closes for a decade. That is peace. That is enough. I want to hear your strategy. Are you a buy and hold investor, or do you prefer to rebalance? Let's talk in the comments below. If this Zen approach helped, hit the like button. Subscribe for more deep dives. Let's build something that lasts. Thank you for watching.